I think on a broad basis, Deepak ji, Subhimal ji has already covered the major pain points, and specifically with respect to data privacy part of it, where Deepak ji has touched upon why it is a critical issue. So I was trying to kind of really throw some legal flavors to this particular discussion and wind it up in terms of providing, apart from the technological measures, where is it from a legal standpoint, it becomes important for the enterprises or organizations to really manage the cyber threats or cyber exploitation. Now, just to start off with a few data points, 2023 Global Economic Forum for the first time ranked cybercrime and cybersecurity as a top 10 global threat, not only on the short term of 2 years, but also on the long term of 10 years. If you look into Statistica, the global cost of cyber security related breaches would be growing from around 8 trillion US dollars from 2022 to around 24 trillion US dollars in 2027. And these numbers are astounding because this includes your reputational damages, your breach due to data privacy, your revenue losses due to organizations not being able to manage their uptimes of their systems, etc. We spoke a lot about devices, proliferation of IoT, IIoT devices, mobile devices, endpoints, and just to give you some perspective, GSMA intelligence provided that there are 5.6 billion unique mobile subscribers, which is around 69% of the world population, and 5.3 billion internet users, which is around 65% of the world population. Coming to the Indian story, state-sponsored cybersecurity attacks have considerably increased in India and has increased by around 300% from 2021 to September 2023. India is one of the top 3 victims of cyber attacks, and just to, if you look into CERT-In's annual report, you will see that CERT-In has processed around 14 lakh cases in 2022, which is around ballpark 14,000 cases on a daily basis. Now, I think I will not go into the broad constructs of the digital revolution, which Subhimal has very captured very in a nuanced way in terms of how the digital transformation, the AI system, although we are talking about precision AI a lot nowadays, generative AI was there almost for last 5 to 7 years, and then endpoints, IIoT has kind of created waves in the entire digital ecosystem. On top of it, I would just like to add the Indian perspective of the digital public infrastructure. I mean, the huge amount of digital public infrastructure that we have has brought into amount of data, which is a different data set altogether, which is very unique to our kind of ecosystem. Now, that's where it comes that the narrative of cyber everywhere. And I would just like to kind of bring the perspective of how to create a narrative within the boards of various large organizations, the enterprises, the MSMEs, or any organization for that particular purpose. I mean, the entire narrative of cybersecurity should actually flow down from the board. And that's where I would like to take some time to kind of really throw some flavor as to why it is important for the board to really recognize cyber threats, the importance of cybersecurity. Now, cybersecurity was a departmental issue maybe 5 years back. Now it's an enterprise risk. So cybersecurity is technically coming under the broad ambit of corporate governance, and it has to be properly managed by board. It has to be part of the ESG mandate, and it has to be part of internal audits mandate. Now, everything at the end of the day goes down to the board. So I will be really talking about how cybersecurity is important for the board. We will see a lot of discussion about cybersecurity when the BRSR report becomes mandatory for the top 1,000 listed companies for ESG notifications, and we will and already for companies which have turnover more than 300 crores, internal audit, even for private companies, internal audit is kind of a mandatory function. So all put together, reporting out to the board from corporate governance perspective, cybersecurity has become an important narrative. Now why? Because I being part of the board, being a trusted counsel to the board, I think the board really appreciates when it can quantify it in terms of numbers. And cybersecurity in its current state is not only impact the bottom line, but it's creating a real impression on the top line as well. And that's the narrative we need to work out with. We need to really work with the management to say that why in the long term, cybersecurity investment is really going to impact the revenues of the company. With that particular narrative, we can get better investment, better tools, better processes for cybersecurity as such in any enterprise.